I did the cross-Atlantic cruise when I was 1.5 years old.
Yeah.
I don't remember it, but there's video footage of my mom and I throwing up. So
On the way there, because my last cruise we did to the Caribbean and back, 7 days. 7 days at sea, which is a lot.
Yeah.
But on the way there, I don't remember it being bad. On the way back, I was laying in bed and my feet were going above my head. And I was like, oh no, this is not good.
Absolutely not.
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I would be like, you're getting a helicopter and you're getting me off of this boat
out.
right now. Hey Voxstar, and welcome to From Singer to Artist. I'm Lara Chapman, award-winning singer and songwriter turned viral vocal coach and the host of this show. At VoxTape Studios, we help singers from all over the world level up their voices by teaching them the 3 fundamental skills all singers need: technique, awareness, and artistry. Whether you're looking to go pro or just develop your voice for fun, my team and I are here to help. Check the link in the description to book your first session or grab some of our other resources. Alrighty, are you ready? Let's get started. We are back in New York City, this time with Coach Emily from our team. Hello, hello. As well as a professional traveling actress, performer, singer, all of the above. Welcome, Sam Bello.
Hi.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Yes, me too, me too. You and Emily is, you guys go way back.
Way back.
You
Way
went
back.
to college together and you were
Yeah.
roommates.
Yes.
Yes.
For 3 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, so cool. So when we were trying to figure out who's gonna sit where, and I was like, yeah, Sam, you can have your own chair. And then Emily was like, I want to sit with Sam. I'm like,
couldn't hold
okay,
it in.
I'll get my own chair then.
It was all in my eyes.
Yes, that's so fun. So you guys went to Shenandoah University together?
Yes.
And that was for the undergrad?
Yeah, we got our BFAs in musical theater from Shenandoah in 2022.
Yeah.
Wow. So what, that's 3 years?
3 years. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And so what has life been like for you since graduation?
I honestly, I feel like especially in this industry, as far as work goes, I've been very lucky and very grateful. I have been working pretty much since I got out of school, which
Wow.
is
Rare. That's
So
amazing.
I'm very grateful for that. But right out of school, I went into the Cats National Tour.
What?
And then I've been doing cruise work on and off for the last 2 years.
Hold on. So you graduated and you immediately went to the national tour,
Yes. Yeah.
the Broadway national tour.
Yes. In a way.
In a way.
Some people have different opinions on how, especially if it's non-union and it's been shifted a little bit, what we call it. But
okay.
it was the Andy Blake and Bueller production from the revival.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is amazing. So how... Okay, I have so many questions. Because I studied musical theater initially, but I realized very quickly I'm not a musical theater girly. I'm a pop girly.
Fair.
So, I was never an auditioning actor in
Yeah.
New York. Well, also, I didn't have the visa status to do it either. So I was not allowed to work. And so... I never lived that life, but okay, so walk me through this. You graduated. You immediately moved to New York, or?
So I did the whole audition process for the show mostly while I was still in school, and then I had one additional audition or coaching right after college while I actually was in London, so I was able to do it in person.
Okay.
And then I went home to Texas for 2 months, and then we started rehearsals in August.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is insane. Okay. And then you were on tour for how long?
For 9 months. Wow. Yeah.
You did all of the U.S.? Or?
We did North America, so we did a lot of the U.S., some Canada, and then Monterey and Mexico as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
What? Oh my God. Okay. So I'm just trying to wrap my head around how you started all of this before you even graduated.
Yeah.
That is so smart, because a lot of people are like, no, I just need to get through school and then I'll figure it out. But this whole actor thing, it takes time to actually land a role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's amazing that you started that before you even graduated.
Yeah.
So you had something lined up pretty much when you were graduating.
Yeah.
Okay. So the theme for today is the traveling singer, the traveling actor, right?
Yeah.
So traveling in the sense of you went on tour, with Cats. And then you also said you did cruise ships.
Yes.
Last summer you were in Saudi.
Yeah.
Also performing there.
Yes.
So I guess my first question for you is, I guess it's not the first question,
No.
but my next question for you is, did you, like, was that always your goal to travel as much as possible with acting, or?
I think so, whether I consciously knew it or not.
Okay.
I grew up moving a lot. I've only ever lived one place more than like 3 years, I guess.
Wow.
Other than college. So I lived overseas a lot as well. I lived in Germany and Belgium when I was younger. So I think just traveling has always been part of my life. So I think I didn't want to give that up, because I know with a lot of, like, you have to be in New York to easily audition. There was a point where I was doing it out of Texas, right out of tour, and it just cost a lot of money to get to New York, back somewhere else. So I didn't want to necessarily give up being stationary in New York quite yet.
Okay. So New York's your, like, home, not your hometown, but like
my home base, I
your
guess.
home base.
Yeah.
Yes. It's your home base, and you audition from here, and then you do the jobs wherever the jobs are. Okay. And so I want to learn more about the tour. Like, how is life on tour, like Cats, when you did Cats?
Pros and cons.
Yeah.
It was probably one of the most fun experience, and I learned so much from it. But living out of a suitcase for 9 months gets a little tough sometimes.
Yeah.
And you're sharing a room with somebody, and I was really lucky that me and my roommate got along well. We ended up moving to New York together and lived together in New York when I first moved here.
Great.
But you have to take a lot of extra care to your body, to your voice, than I feel like normally would if you're living in your own space that you can control.
Yeah. Yes, of course.
Because sometimes you're somewhere where there's no food for miles, and the only thing you can get is DoorDash. So if there's not good food options or things like that, you have to prepare and take that into account.
Well, because what you eat is what dictates your health too, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you eat junk food every day, all day, like, you're more likely to get sick. And this is, like, the whole food conversation was something I talked about with Tosh from Alice. I went on tour with them as their background singer, but for 2 weeks, not 9 months. Okay, like, nothing crazy. And they brought their own rice cooker and slow cooker on tour, so that, you know, we always would have, you know, good meals, nutritious meals, and not Taco Bell every day, all day.
Yeah.
I've actually never had Taco Bell in my whole life. And people are like, what?
It's okay. Controversial opinion. I'm not the biggest fan of Taco Bell.
Okay,
so.
there you go.
Yeah.
So I will stick to that and just tell myself you're not missing out on anything. It's totally fine.
You're not.
I love that. So, okay, it's different to take care of your body, your voice, because, I mean, at the end of the day, when you're doing Cats every day, all day, it's like you have to take care of your body so you don't get sick.
Yeah.
Did you ever get sick during these 9 months?
I actually got COVID while we were on tour.
No.
And it was funny, like, before I realized I had it, I was doing the show, and we have the Jellicle Ball, which is a 12-minute dance piece. You barely leave the stage.
Yeah.
And after the show, I literally, embarrassing moment, but not, I mean, I was sick. I got on all fours after it, and I started crying, because I was like, I don't know what's wrong. Something's wrong, but this is just really hard, and I didn't understand why.
Yeah.
And I was sick, and I didn't know it yet. But
Oh my
it's
goodness.
like, even just something like that. And I've had it multiple times, but it was just one of those, like, something in my body felt off, and I knew, and I just couldn't pinpoint what it was. But I was only out for like a week before I was back, which was good.
What role did you have in the...
I was Syllabub. So
Okay.
I was one of the kittens, and then the way I always describe it to people, if you're not familiar with the show, is I sing Memory with Grisabella. So I'm the other cat that's singing.
Okay, cool.
There you go.
And so when you were sick, how did that work then when you're not on stage?
Yeah, so we had an amazing group of swings and understudies. So they just pulled me out of the show when they found out I was sick. And the cast ended up moving to a different town, but I was still in isolation, so I stayed behind for a couple days.
Oh, no.
And then I went to meet everybody a little bit later. But we had such a good supportive team. And then Emily was actually my voice teacher while I was on tour.
Nice! I didn't know that!
Yeah.
Wow.
So when I was sick, I have asthma as well, so any sort of respiratory illness usually hits me a little harder. So I had lessons with her to kind of rehab and make sure everything was where it needed to be before I went back into the show.
Very nice.
Yeah.
How is that working with a friend? Because I've done it too. It's a different dynamic.
It is. I think we did a pretty good job of, like, we would have our hour.
Yeah.
And then I would look at her and I'd go, okay, we're off the clock. And then we would stay on FaceTime for like an hour just hanging out. But because we knew we were going to do that, we were able to be like, all right, we're warming up. And we could look at each other and be like, I know you can hit that. I know you got that. Probably differently than I handle other students.
Yeah.
But when you trust me and I trust you, I feel like that helps a lot.
Yeah, that's awesome that you had like a dedicated, like, no, we're not going to talk.
We have lesson
friend
time
stuff.
and then friend time.
Exactly. Very cool. Okay, that's awesome. And okay, so you were sick once, but you got over it. It was fine, and there was an understudy or a swing or somebody there to take over, which is great. And tours always have that because like people get sick. It's what happens.
Especially with cats, the amount of injuries and like crazy things that
like from
happen.
Dancing or singing too.
Yeah, we had not too many vocal injuries, I don't think. We were really lucky as a group that, and we had, our music director was really good. Like if you were ever struggling or he noticed something sounding different, he'd be like, hey, just checking in, how's everything going? If you were sick, he would always, like if you wanted to run something with him before you jump back into the show, he would always help.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
How many shows did you do? Was it like 8 shows a week or what was it?
8 a week most of the time.
Wow.
And then, so sometimes we would even be in like 3 different cities in 1 week.
No.
Yeah. So you're on the bus all day. You get to the hotel, drop your bags, and go straight to the venue to get ready.
But you at least were staying at a hotel.
Yeah.
Not in like a bus.
No.
Okay.
I know our tech crew would do sleepers sometimes, but we were always staying in hotels, which is really nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was like the average or maybe the longest you stayed in one city?
We were in Cleveland, Ohio for 3 weeks.
Wow.
Ohio.
Why Cleveland, Ohio? I couldn't tell you, but I'm very fond of Cleveland, Ohio now.
Okay.
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
Did you do Indianapolis?
I don't think we did, actually.
They always skip us.
I know. I was
not always, but
yeah,
a lot of times they skip it.
I was the last year of the tour, so I know they hit a lot of places prior that we didn't get to again. But.
Yeah. One of my friends from the New York Film Academy, the musical theater school that I went to, he did Beetlejuice.
Oh, yeah.
The tour of Beetlejuice for 3 years. Wow. And then he was like, I'm out. And he stopped right before they came to Indy.
Oh,
and I was like, no. But it's okay. It's okay. So, but yeah, I'm like, how can you do the same show for 3 years, 8 shows a day? Like, oh my God. How was that experience for you? Same show, 8 shows not a day, a week, 8 shows a week for 9 months. How was that experience?
At first, I was kind of like, oh no, I'm scared I'm going to get sick of it. Mm-hmm. But I think especially if it's something that you love and you're passionate about, it's easy. Yeah. In a way, I mean, not physically and stamina-wise. At first, it was rough. But I think doing it so often honestly made it easier because you have the time to build the stamina and the consistency in your body. But we would always find different ways to keep it fresh and fun, especially being one of the kittens. We could kind of like do a little bit of what we wanted. Like if I was bored during a show, I would just pull someone's tail because I could. So it was we had a lot of fun. It was good.
How long would you say it took you to kind of get into the groove?
I think probably maybe like the first month or so. We learned the whole show in 2 weeks.
Wow, that is crazy fast.
It was intense. And we had a great team. And with the continuation of a tour, they had all the new people come in for the first week. So it was just people who have never done this tour before. And then the second week, they brought all the returners in. So like, it was nice to be able to learn the show without the pressure of like somebody standing behind you who already knows it, having to go through it again. So we were given the space and the time to ask the questions, go over what we really needed to do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Tour life in general, would you do it again?
I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think maybe a little break. Just because I've been living out of a suitcase essentially for the past 3 years. Yeah.
Because Cats is not the only thing that you did.
Yeah.
Right? So you graduated, you did Cats for 9 months. And then talk to me like what happened. So, okay, first question. 9 months, was that because the show stopped after 9 months? Okay. And so you had to find a new job.
Yeah.
Okay, talk to me about that transition.
So right after tour, I went and stayed with my parents in Texas just until I kind of got like relaxed, recovered from the show because physically it was a lot. So I was like, I just don't want to do anything for a little bit. So I just stayed in Texas, worked there for a little bit. And then I moved to New York. The tour finished at the end of June, and then I moved to New York that August.
Okay.
So I had like 2 months to kind of just sit, get all my like ducks in a row, kind of everything prepared to move. And then I moved to New York, and then I started my first cruise by November.
Oh, yeah, so you were not here very long.
Yeah, no.
Wait, you were in New York for 2 weeks?
I was in for...
Or...
No, I was here for like 2 months.
Okay,
then,
2 months.
Yeah.
2 months.
And then I had my audition for the cruise, and it's for AIDA Cruises. So it's the German branch of Carnival, so it's all German passengers, which is super fun. And then... Yeah, so after that audition, I think I had 3 weeks before I left the country for the cruise.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so talk to me about what do you do on a cruise? Like, do you put on a full musical, or is it a different type of situation?
So with AIDA, we don't do like typical book musicals. It's like cruise shows, I guess you would say.
Okay.
So we had like a show called Addicted to Love, which was all rock music. We had a show called Heart of the Ocean, which my best way to describe it is if you look up songs about water, it's those songs.
Okay.
It was beautiful. So it's more like genre style shows or like artist focused shows. We had a Beatles show rather than like typical musicals. So we had, I think on my last ship, 6 or 7 shows that for the singers, and then the dancers had an additional show that they would do. So we would perform them, and then occasionally have extra side duties like checking in passengers, but other than that, not too much.
So you you basically rehearsed 6 or 7 shows.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just kind of were like rotating through them?
Yeah. So my first ship, we had 1 week cruises. So we were doing a show almost every single day. Mm-hmm. And you do them twice. And then my last ship was 2 week cruises. So we had a little bit of space between the shows, which almost made it harder.
Yeah.
Because then you're not doing it as consistently. You're
not in the flow all the time.
Yeah. So you don't have the time to necessarily build the stamina for a show because you only do it twice a month.
Is that normal for a European company to have auditions here in New York for that? Like, were you the only American, or?
There were three of us on both my contracts, 3 Americans. They do, I know they hold, a lot of their singers are hired out of, like, previously had been hired out of New York and the UK, but I know, like, especially now we have people from everywhere. There's people from the Netherlands singing. We've got a lot of Brazilians.
Wow, cool.
Which is just the cool thing on the ship. You get to meet so many people from all over the world, and we're all just in a little bubble.
Yeah. The ship is a bubble.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God.
College again.
Yeah. Were you ever able to leave the ship, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can only not get off on like any given moment on a cruise ship. There has to be 25% of the crew, even if they're in port, just in case an emergency happens while you're docked. So you, like, every 4 days wouldn't be able to get off the ship, but other than that, you can go lay at the beach, enjoy wherever.
Wow. So how was that for you? Like, what were some of the places that you traveled to?
Yeah. So my first ship, which is amazing, I'd never been to this area of the world. Our main port was Dubai. Yes, it was beautiful. So we were in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Qatar, Bahrain, Oman, that region. And then the last one I did, we were in Norway for 2 months, and then the Caribbean for 5 months.
Wow. Okay. So you really saw a lot out there then. Very cool. What was your favorite place that you visited? I'm a travel. Like, I love travel a lot. Any chance I get, I'm out of here. So what was your favorite place?
I think Qatar. One of my favorite places. It's just very beautiful there, and the museums are really, really cool.
Yeah.
And then I loved Dominica. It's just a lot of, like, they have sulfur springs there, a lot of really beautiful waterfalls, and just like nature. Wow. It's really pretty island.
Wow, yeah. I love that. I haven't been to either of those places. I was at the Qatar airport, but that doesn't count. Yeah, very cool, very cool. And so how was rehearsals for that? If you have like people from all over the world, where do you meet to do rehearsals?
So I feel like a pretty unique thing for a lot of cruise ships, we rehearse on the ship.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. Okay. So they bring us on, and we take the cabins of the current cast. So during the like changeover, there's 2 full cast on the ship. So we're rehearsing during the day, and then they're performing at night.
Okay.
So we learn everything on the ship in like 5 weeks. It's a little different depending on like what ship you're going to and what shows they have to do. But yeah, so you rehearse everything on the ship, and then, which is kind of nice because then you get to watch it be done. So it's like what I learned that morning, I get to go see done.
Yes.
Which for me helps my brain. So I'm like, okay, this makes sense now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Sorry, were you going to say something?
No, I was just saying, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay. And how, because I get so seasick on boats. How was that for you?
Mostly okay. I had never been on a cruise ship before I started working on one, so it was kind of like, fingers crossed I don't get seasick. Really hoped for the best, and I'm thankful that I don't get very seasick. We were in the North Sea, and that sometimes was quite
Rough.
bad. Which, especially performing when it's that rocky.
Oh my God.
It's crazy.
I didn't even think about
you're
that.
You're standing there and you're dancing, or you're even just trying to stand still, and the stage is literally just doing this. And it's like, you can feel it. So like anytime we knew where we were going through certain areas of water, I was like, motion sickness, pill, take it.
Yeah.
Even if you don't think you're going to get sick, when you're standing on stage with lights and you're already hot and sweating, it makes it so much worse than if you're laying down in your cabin and it's rocky.
I could never.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot even be a passenger on a boat. Like, I have to be outside on the deck in the fresh air.
Yeah.
Then I'm fine. As soon as I go inside, I'm like, where's the closest trash can?
Yeah.
How do you make those adjustments?
For like when it's rocky?
Yeah, for when it's rocky, or
we have there's sometimes that we have to change the shows that we're doing that night because of this level, like the rockiness of the seas. On our ship, we had 2 aerialists and then a handstand artist as well.
What? How are you going to do a handstand?
Exactly. It's one of the most impressive things I think I've ever seen, because I'm watching the stage move and they are just like rock solid and handstands, single hand handstands. I'm like, I can barely stand in one place. How are you doing that?
Muscles, baby.
Yeah.
Muscles. I do not have those. Wow.
But we have an ensemble supervisor who, if we ever had to change anything, she would help. And then we also had flat shoes. So if it gets to a certain point, they have the right to make the decision to take everyone out of their heels. We're all wearing jazz sneakers, and we're going to go and do the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
there you go.
Wow. Singing wise, did that ever, like when you took something or when you didn't feel quite right, like motion sickness, like did that affect your singing at all?
For me, no, and I'm really lucky. I feel like on the ships in general, it's very dry because there's constant AC. For me, that took a toll, especially at the beginning. I had my first contract. I wasn't necessarily prepared for how it would affect my voice, but my steamer became my best friend.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people would have humidifiers in their cabins if we could, like certain ones, if you could get them on the ship, just because it's, constant. You can't turn the AC off. It's just how the ships work. It's constantly blowing cold air.
Yeah.
So I know there were some people that would, like, I don't dry out too crazy from it, but there were some days where I could definitely tell. I was like, I need to go sit in a hot shower and just have warm, humid air for a little bit.
Yeah.
Could you at least change the temperature?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I'm so sensitive to cold, like AC air.
Yeah.
Like my hotel room, when I checked in, it was set to 67 degrees. I'm like, what on earth? Are you trying to like make it snow in here? Like what is happening? So I like turned it up to like 72. My house at home is 75.
Yeah.
But I have naked cats.
Fair.
Yeah.
So, I don't want it to be cold for them. And also for me, it's like, if the AC is running, I'm wearing long sleeves.
Yeah.
Even if it's 90 degrees outside, if the AC is running, I get cold.
I'm the same way. I always dress like it's winter, because when it's hot outside, it will be even colder inside.
Yes.
So I need to dress warm.
Oh, I remember when I went to school here in New York during the summer, I brought a jacket to class because it was so cold
Freezing,
inside.
yeah.
And everybody was cold, and we were all complaining about it. And they're like, we can't do anything about it. It's like the building does it, and we can't. And I'm like, why is it like icicles in here? This is stupid, especially for singing and dancing too.
Yeah.
It's like, it just takes longer to get your muscles to warm up.
Yeah.
And, it's like, oh my God. So anyways, I'm glad you were able to control the temperature of your cabin.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. What was your favorite part about being on a cruise?
I think just one, outside of just meeting and getting to work with people from all over the world, which I feel like you don't really get to do in a lot of other job environments. I think just being able to to travel while you're doing it. Like I'm young. Every time I'm kind of like, ooh, like, do I want to stop? Why not? Like right now I'm not necessarily missing out on anything else.
That's usually how I approach things. That's why I decided to go on tour as a background singer for this band too. I was like, I don't have kids. Like I have the flexibility in my job to do this.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like, I just want to be able to say that I did it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I'm always going to be like, oh, I never experienced it, so I don't know what it's like, right? You always think like, I kind of know what it's, but you don't know until you actually do it. So I try and approach it with that same mindset. Like anything I do, it's like, even if it's not like this is my true like life passion, I want to do this forever. It's like, no, then I can at least say I did it, and I experienced it, and then if I love it, awesome, I can do it again. If it's like, I don't necessarily have to do that again. I don't have to do it again.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Emily, would you ever be open to like doing tours or cruises and travel around?
Yes, but I do like staying where I am. Like I like being in one place and having routine. So I think I would love it. I think I would love a short contract.
Yeah.
But if the right thing comes around, I would absolutely do it.
Yeah.
Like absolutely. The right project or the right places.
Yeah. Would you do a cruise? Because I'm like, no, absolutely not. Because of the motion sickness.
I could do a cruise with, I believe I could do a cruise with the motion sickness. I would do one. I think I would have a fun time.
Yeah.
I feel like with what you were saying about like routine, cruise ship versus touring, you were definitely able to establish much more of a routine.
Okay.
Because once you're in your cabin, that's your cabin. You're not moving every week, every couple of days. Like you're able to fully unpack your suitcase, decorate your room, kind of make it homey.
Yeah.
And it's like whether or not outside the ship is different, on the ship you can establish your own thing and kind of find some sort of consistency that I was definitely very difficult to do on tour.
Yeah. Well, for both of you, if you want to do cruises again or for the first time, the Ritz-Carlton, the luxury hotel line, they have a yacht thing now that they do, and they are looking for singers. I like just entertainers in general, but also like for singers. I just came across this
That's cool.
like 3 days ago or something like that, and I'm like, not for me. But I looked at the application. And they ask a lot of questions, and like they're serious about it. Like it's not for like hobbyists or anything like that. It's serious. And even like before you just submit like an initial clip or whatever, like they want to know all of these answers to these questions, like visa things that they want to know, because when you're traveling, you probably need some sort of visa, something. I mean, it said everywhere, hey, if you don't have this, it's okay, we can help you get it. We just need to know, do you have it or not?
Yeah.
Right? They even asked, like, how much do you want to be paid? And they gave you, like, ranges.
Oh, wow.
And it started at, I don't remember, like 2,000, 2,500, something like that, to, like, 5,500 a month.
What a range.
And you pick, I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know, but like you pick, like, and then like in between though, there were ranges in between. Those. And I was like, well, I guess if you live on a cruise ship, you don't really have expenses. So I have no idea if that's good pay or not. I'm not in that world at all. But it was just interesting for me to see like how you apply for something like this and what all they want to know before you even sing. So if you guys are interested, go apply. Ritz-Carlton Yacht or whatever. I'm sure they'll treat you well. Ritz-Carlton hotels are very nice. I'm sure their yacht is also very nice. But I cannot, like every time I get on a boat, like a cruise, I can't. Like, so I'm like, nope. So that's the one thing where I'd be like, even if I had the opportunity, I would probably say no.
Yeah.
But I just can't deal with boats. Dramamine is, my best friend when it comes to like flying.
Yeah.
But I can't.
You can
imagine.
only survive on it so long.
That's it. Yeah. So, anyways, okay, very cool. And so you did 2 contracts, you said?
Yes. Yeah.
Were those back to back?
I had a couple months off in between.
Okay.
So in between, I was planning on just staying in New York between contracts, but I ended up going to Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
So I was back for maybe 3 weeks, and then I auditioned for Scooby-Doo Live, and then I ended up getting it last minute. And they're like, great, you start rehearsals on Thursday. And it was Tuesday.
Wow.
So we rehearsed in New York for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, and then left for Saudi Arabia for 2.5 months.
Wow.
And then I came back and I had 2 weeks before I left for my next cruise.
Why do you have an apartment?
You know what? I don't anymore. I did.
Okay.
All of my belongings are in a storage unit in Hoboken, New Jersey.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, so I had one the first time, and then I subleased my apartment.
Yeah.
But it got to a point where I was like, it's, especially finding a long-term sublet when you're not there to help.
Yeah.
And then they also raised the rent of my apartment by quite a bit, so me and my roommates were all like, yeah, we're gonna tap out. It was a very nice place. She was good while she lasted, but it was just not feasible or
So
like
what
reasonable, I guess.
do you live out of a hotel now, or?
I'm subletting.
Subletting.
Yeah.
Okay, from somebody else.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're also working on a cruise, so it worked
there
out.
you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so did you already have your second cruise ship contract lined up before you started it? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So right before I left my first contract, they offered most of our cast, pretty much everyone who wanted to. We all transferred together.
Okay, cool.
Which was really nice because I think they try to do it if they can, because everyone knows the shows. Mm-hmm. They all know each other. They know how to work together.
It's cheaper and less risky for them.
Yeah. So they just picked our whole cast up and moved us over to a different ship, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay, that's super cool. And then in between, you went to Saudi Arabia. Mm-hmm. So talk to me about what that was like, because that was probably a pretty big culture shock.
Yeah. I think I was lucky that my cruise was in the Middle East before. So I wasn't like, I've never been to the Middle East before. I don't know what to expect. It worked out well that I was like, great, I literally just got back from there.
Yeah.
But it was really interesting, but it was really cool. I think especially because you don't, like, I feel like over there's not as many opportunities for theater performance. And it was for a company called Event Box, and they just bring theater to places that don't have it traditionally.
Oh, cool. That's really cool.
So they built like a mini Warner Brothers world there, and there was a Justice League show, Scooby-Doo, there was a Looney Tunes show, and they had an orchestra that played along to episodes of Tom and Jerry live, which that was, anytime I had a break, I'd go sit and watch them play because it was just so fun. But it was a very cool opportunity to do.
Were you stationary there, though, once you were in Saudi Arabia?
Yeah. So they put us all up in a hotel, and that's where we stayed the whole time.
In Jeddah? Or?
In Jeddah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That was probably nice.
Yeah.
Just feel like I'm staying in the same place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you get to explore at all?
Yeah. So we didn't have to leave especially being there over the summer. It's so hot during the day.
Hot. Oh my God.
Everything's closed during the day. So we were at the venue. We would leave around 4 o'clock, I think, and we wouldn't get home until midnight. Like our last show was at 10 o'clock. So that's when everyone was going out. And I think in North America example, like if you thought of bringing your kids to go see a show at 10 p.m.
It's like,
people would be like, are you crazy?
Yeah.
But they all sleep during the day just because it's so hot. Like you can't really do much. So the nightlife there was really cool. And it was just, there was a lot more there than I expected. Like tourism wise, and
they're
cool.
Really
it's
building.
Beautiful, yeah.
They're pouring a lot of money into Saudi Arabia right now. Like the Saudi government is pouring a lot of money into tourism there.
Yeah.
It's crazy to see. I traveled to Dubai, not frequently, but every so often.
Yeah.
Because I spent my childhood there, and sometimes I meet my parents in Dubai.
Yeah.
And from here, it's friggin' far,
Yes.
but whatever. It's like 15-hour flight, no problem. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Dramamine, I'm asleep. But even in Dubai, you see a lot of like posters and like commercials and however else you describe advertisement for things that they're building in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
There's like a golden cube something that they're building there too. There's
I know they're outbuilding the Burj Khalifa. They're trying to.
I
saw
sure
the
they
construction of the new building.
Oh my God.
So once it's finished, I'm not sure when it's supposed to be finished, but Jeddah will have the tallest building in the world.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Always trying to one up each other, right? I love that. And I think I think this is in Saudi Arabia, where they're building like a city, but that's like a, oh my God, like it's not a round city, it's just a street.
Ooh.
And like a real, like miles long, many miles long city. I am really doing a very poor job describing this right now. I'm so sorry. But I saw some like concept pictures of it, like renderings.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like just the strip through the desert of like city. And anyways, look it up. They can do a better job of describing it. I think it's in Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
It's somewhere there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. And okay, so how many shows did you do in Jeddah? Like a week?
So it was open 7 days a week.
Wow.
But we would have one day off.
Okay.
So I was a swing for my show, so I was friends with Daphne, Velma, and Scooby.
Okay.
And then I also ended up like a little bit into the contract. I jumped into the Looney Tunes show, so I was also helping out with Daffy Duck and Sylvester.
Okay.
So that was So there were some days when I would be doing I would do a Velma, then I'd run and do Daffy, come back and do 2 Velma, go back and do 2 Daffy.
Oh my God.
So it was the Looney Tunes show. They would have 4 or 5 shows a day, and then at Scooby we always had 3. We were in a separate little theater.
Okay.
But
oh my God.
Yeah.
That takes a lot of brain power.
yeah.
Like I can barely get one show in my brain.
Yeah.
I only ever did one musical in my entire life, and that's when I met Kate, Coach Kate from our team. She was the director and I was the lead, and we only did 5 performances of it, but I just could not never mess, I would always mess something up.
Yeah.
Every show, it was always something else. But I would always forget some sort of line or change the lyrics in a song, or because I'm a songwriter, so I would just like make up lyrics on the spot, like kind of close enough.
Yeah.
But for me, it was mostly nerves that were like, oh my God. So anyways, I can't imagine like as a swing, you're not just like learning one role, you learn multiple roles. And then you're also doing a second show too. I was like, oh my, how do you do that?
I honestly don't know. I think my ADHD loves it a little bit. It's kind of like a fun challenge. I've done swing work before, but nothing like to that caliber, especially learning like with Looney Tunes. I learned the show from a video and I had one put in. And then I was doing
crazy.
it.
Wow.
So it was a lot, but it just kind of, my brain likes it, I think.
Yeah.
And I know like people who swing, like especially in Kat's one of our swings, she covered, I think by the end of it, almost 9 tracks. Wow. She was amazing, and her brain is just one of the most fascinating things, because it's all separate, but I think sometimes knowing more helps, because okay, well if this character's here, I know that I'm here.
Yes.
You have to make sure your brain doesn't switch halfway through.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. And I also think it's almost like training a muscle.
Yeah.
Like I see this with memorizing songs. Like when I first went to the New York Film Academy, we had to like learn 5 new songs every week.
Yeah.
And it was like a lot of repertoire. And I at first was struggling to memorize all these songs. First of all, I did not, like my English wasn't that great. So it took so much brain power for me to understand what was being talked about. And then also trying to memorize everything too. It's like I was so tired all the time, because just my brain was working so hard, right? Because at that point I would translate everything into German. Now I think in English, I dream in English. Like my brain's in English now.
Yeah.
But anyways, it got easier and easier and easier to memorize all these songs the more I did it.
Yeah.
Now I probably would struggle again, because I don't ever memorize
so long,
songs again, like now. So it would probably take some time to build those muscles. But yeah, that's amazing that you were covering all these different roles and doing 2 shows at the same time. All in like what you said, 2 weeks of rehearsals, and that was it?
Yeah.
And then you did it for 2.5 months, and then you came back, and then you went back on a cruise.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And then how long was that second round?
7.5 months.
Oh my God.
You like just got back.
Yeah, I just got back. I finished the cruise, and then I went to visit my partner in London for like 2 weeks, and then he came to visit in the US for 2 weeks, and then he's been gone for 2 weeks.
Did you meet on a cruise?
We met in Saudi Arabia, actually. Yeah, so it was one of those just like right time.
Yeah. And they're over in...
Yeah, he lives in the UK.
Okay.
But he's actually, I'm doing another cruise.
Oh my God,
I'm doing another one in August.
August.
Yeah, in August. So I leave at the end of July, and he's actually going to be doing it with me. Nice. So we'll get to be on the boat together for 7 months, which will be good.
Yeah. Do you get to, like, if they know that there's a couple, do you share cabins, or it's like?
Per my contract, I get my own cabin, and the dancers have to share. So I'll still have my own cabin, but yeah.
He's just going to say what it is. Oh, I love that. I love that. So he's a dancer?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. I'm a terrible dancer. But guess who's worse? My husband. He is the absolute worst dancer. Cannot. Like,
oh, no.
Even when you're listening to music and like he's like tapping, it's
just
wrong.
not even.
And I'm like, oh, honey, stop, please. But he has no interest in learning. Yeah. You know, it's like, I'm not going to push that on
that's
him.
Your thing.
Yeah.
He does math. He does engineering. And I'm
go.
like, if you don't push math on me, I'm not going to push music on you.
Fair.
Yeah,
Fair enough, right?
Yeah. No, my girlfriend goes around the house humming a fifth slide, because that's probably the most common thing I do.
Yes.
She'll just be like, I'm like, what's that song? It's just the sound I'm always making.
Yes. Oh my God. But is it like a good fifth? Like,
Yeah, she's killing it.
no, let's go, Tate. I love that.
Knocking it out of the park.
Amazing. That is so funny. That is so funny. So where's that cruise going to be?
So we'll do the Baltic Sea for a couple of months, like
Wow.
Poland, Finland, Latvia, Denmark, Norway.
Back in the rough seas.
Yeah. And then we'll do a one-way to the Caribbean and back.
Okay.
A little bit of like metropolitan Europe in between, and then we do South America.
That'd be so cool.
South America and back. So we have 9 ports in Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay. Yeah, I'm very, very excited.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
I haven't explored that part of the world
Yeah.
at all. The furthest south I've gotten is Costa Rica.
Yeah.
And that's it. So desperately want to go one of these days.
And it's just, I'm very, very excited.
That's so cool. I did the Cross Atlantic cruise when I was 1.5 years old.
Yeah.
I don't remember it, but there's video footage of my mom and I throwing up. So
It on the way there, because my last cruise we did to the Caribbean and back, 7 days. 7 days at sea, which is a lot.
Yeah.
But on the way there, I don't remember it being bad. On the way back, I was laying in bed and my feet were going above my head. And I was like, oh no, this is not good.
Absolutely not.
No.
Yeah. Absolutely. I would be like, you're getting a helicopter and you're getting me off of this boat
out.
right now. I cannot. I don't even know if you're in the middle. I don't think a helicopter could reach that.
We actually had a medical emergency. So while during the 7-day thing, they were fine. They say it was just a broken bone. It was a broken bone.
Yeah.
But they just, for safety of the passenger, it was at the beginning. So they're like, we're not going to leave you on the ship for 7 days. We're going to get you on shore so you can go to an actual hospital.
How does that work? What do they do?
So we had to turn around.
No.
And you don't have to get all the way back to port, but you just have to get close enough for someone to
reach.
send a helicopter.
Yeah.
And our ship didn't have a helipad, so they like airlifted somebody off of the ship.
Oh my God.
It's crazy.
That's something I never need to do.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. Can die happy, never having done that.
Yeah.
And there I was just preaching about how I'm always going to say it.
I'll do anything.
Not that. Not that. Oh my God. Do you have any other crazy stories? Like, I'm living for the tea here.
No, there's like stuff I'm not supposed to know, so I can't.
Okay,
can't spill all
yeah.
of it.
Of course.
We did have a pipe burst and flood crew mess once.
Oh.
That was fun. It was like while we were in rehearsal, and they're like, messes. We got like an announcement, and they're like, first aid response, which is like the beginning of an emergency, but they don't really say what it is because they don't want to stress people. And that was the first aid response I'd ever had on any of my ships, and we were in the middle of rehearsing a parade. Like, so we were all sitting there, and we're like, wait, is this waiting for exercise announcement, which never came, and we're like, oh, this is real, something's happening. Thankfully it was just a busted pipe. We were in port, so it was easy to fix.
Okay.
But we didn't know that, so we're all like, why are we rehearsing like a little sailor number when there's something wrong with the ship?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's scary when it happens. We had one once, it was an actual emergency. We were at sea and it happened at 2 a.m. Like we were all about to fall asleep, and they're like, first stage response, engine casing, or like something in the engine room, and we were all like, oh my God. like, what is happening right now?
Yeah.
And it was just one of our engines went down.
Oh, okay.
It was fine.
And everything.
Yeah.
But they will call it off, but they never called it off. So we were all just sitting there like waiting for crew alert, which is when you have to go.
Yeah.
And like do your emergency duties. Like I had to help evacuate passengers
Okay.
from like different places on the ship.
Yeah.
So I was like, you just kind of like anxiously waiting to see if it gets called off or if it gets escalated further.
Luckily, no Titanic moment for you.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, at this point, I'm sure ships are like very safe and it's just like flying. It's like, whenever one thing happens, it's in the news and then everybody gets scared. And I'm like, you know how many car accidents there are every day?
Yeah.
So you always have to remind yourself of that. Yeah.
But
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I would love to hear you sing
yes.
something.
Yeah.
Is that cool?
Yeah,
with
that's
you?
fine. I have something from the ship.
Okay.
From one of our shows. What's the best way to do this?
Yeah, so if you don't mind, you can share that with me after.
Great.
So that I can, like add it when we're editing it.
Cool.
But here you can just play it and then I'll just overlay it so that it sounds a little better.
Okay, cool. Let's see how this goes.
Yes.
I didn't crazy warm up today, but I tried my best.
I love it. Just a little sneaky.
Yeah. How much should I do?
Like a minute, like a verse and a chorus. Like I don't know. What are you doing?
It's Nights in White Satin.
Okay.
So it's like fun rock show. It was from our rock show on the ship, Addicted to Love. And it was like very like moody, it's just super fun.
If you want to do the whole thing, you can do the whole thing too.
Cool.
Like anything.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
I'm just here for the treat.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's see how this goes. Oh my gosh, it's plugged in, coming out of my headphones. That's what's happening right now. I was like, why
hear it over
playing
there
in the distance? Let's try that again. Okay. There we go. Nights in white satin, never reaching the end. Letters I've written, never meaning to send. Beauty I'd always missed with these eyes before. Just what the truth is, I can't say anymore, 'cause I love you. Yes, I love you. Oh, I love you. Gazing at people, some hand in hand, just what I'm going through, they can't understand. Some try to tell me thoughts they cannot defend. Just what you want to be, you will be in the end. And I love you. Yes, I love you. Oh, I love you. Oh, I love you. Good. Yes, give me that grip, baby. I'm shaking.
That was so cool. I mean, it's totally different vibe doing this here than like live on a stage. But okay, I have so many favorite moments. Okay. Just before you even started singing, it was like, and I'm in character.
Yes.
Right? It's like, okay, hello, actor. I love it. And flips. You're doing so many vocal flips in this, and I'm a sucker for vocal flips.
Yeah.
I blame it on the Swiss in me, because yodeling.
Yeah.
Yodeling.
I love a yodel.
It's the same thing. Right?
Yeah.
So love. I mean, the grit there at the end. It's like you really prepared yourself for it. You were like, all right, let's go. Yes, so cool.
Thank you.
I'm gonna ask you first. How did it feel for you?
Very weird, honestly.
Yeah.
It's one of those, it's like, I feel like I sing that song very differently in like rehearsal settings than I do on stage.
Yeah.
And I honestly think part of it has to do with in-ear and that style of music.
Yes. The dynamics,
That's
right?
a
Like you can
whole-
really get
Yeah.
like really close.
On the ships, we do wear in-ears on
Cool.
stage, which it's one of those things, like I feel like once you go in-ear, it's hard to go back.
Yeah.
It's so different, like having, like you can control exactly what you're hearing.
Yeah.
It feels very like, we had the choice of doing two. I always did one.
Okay.
But yeah, just very different, but fun different.
Yes.
Yeah, just much more like intimate, I feel like, than I normally do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, how was it for you, Emily?
Yeah, I mean, I know how you sound. I love you. I'm just thinking about all the wonderful things you can do and how it's so fun to hear you sing rock. I mean, you talked about tour and cats and like, and doing syllabub, which is like, we're leaning classical there.
Yeah.
Different world. And so it's so fun to hear you do rock with all that, with all the grit and the resistance and the intentional compression, like everything you're sprinkling in there. It's really fun.
Talk to me more about what you mean by resistance. Compression, I'm totally following. The grit, I'm following. How's resistance different?
Resistance. I think there is, and I think this is partially in your energy and also just, I'm not even talking anatomically here, but there's the feeling that you're holding back on your dynamic growth of I love you, I love you, I love you. Mm-hmm. The resistance there, I hear as different than just I love you, na na da da, just like 3 different levels. There's that really like you're holding your air back, and I guess it's paired with the compression.
Okay.
But I'll say that's more of the effect that I'm getting.
Okay, fair enough. It almost sounds also like a little emotional too. Like compression is very much like that's actually physically what's happening, and the resistance is more like the emotion.
Yes.
Like I don't know.
Yeah, like the artistic quality.
Yeah.
Like the compression is leading you to that resistance, that like push and pull.
Yes. Very cool. So where do you feel more at home? More in like the rock or more the classical cats?
So I am a soprano.
Okay.
She's a soprano girl.
I like singing high. It's my happy place.
Okay.
But I feel like, especially, and it's like one of those things, like especially when you're in school and like educational theater, you get put in a box.
Yes.
And that's what you're told you can do. And a lot of it doesn't even necessarily has to do with you. It has to do with what they have and where you fit with who else is around you. Like the poor, like the people that like they're 18, but they're tall, so they're always going to play the mom in educational theater. Mm-hmm. But it's like you're 18, 20 years old. You're not remotely close to the age that you'd play these roles or sing these parts, but that's just where you're put in at the time. So I feel like coming out of school, I let myself be put in the boxes that I was told I was, or like had previously done, just from roles that you do in that kind of setting. But I honestly think cruising has changed my whole mindset around that and my own voice as well. Like I never would have thought of myself as like a rock singer, but Highway to Hell is my favorite thing to sing if I have a live band with me, because I wail, and I can get high because I have the classic training, and it's just fun and like gritty, and I love that, but it's something that I never thought I was capable of doing until someone said, well, we hired you, this is what you're singing in the show, do it.
Wow.
So it's, I mean, with like we sung all sorts of styles on the ship, and you're switching it up every day or two, like you're singing a completely different style.
Because you're trying to accommodate for different audiences, right? Wow. Oh my gosh, do you have a I mean, this is pretty freaking awesome. I don't know how I can get better than that, but
So I think right now rock is becoming one of my favorite styles. But I love a classic MT thing as well. So
MT stands for musical theater, in case
you
didn't know.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. So I think the most fascinating, maybe not the most fascinating thing, but one of the fascinating things about you in particular is like, it sounds like you're spending very little time actually auditioning.
Yeah.
And you're doing a lot of shows. And I feel like in musical theater school, they always told us like, you're going to be auditioning and auditioning
That's
and auditioning.
the job.
And
the job is auditioning.
Exactly. Do you have any idea how many auditions you did through your career?
I feel like quite a bit. When even on tour, like we would be self-taping in our hotel rooms all the time.
Cool.
And there's a couple times like I would leave tour to come to New York to do an audition for something.
Wow.
So and I don't have an agent, which I feel like a lot of people are, when I say that, everyone's kind of like, huh. Because I feel like I was always told you're not going to get auditions if you don't have an agent. You're not going to book if you don't have an agent.
Clearly not the case.
Clearly not. Yeah.
And it becomes a bit more work because I have to function as my own agent. So I have to find the auditions. I have to do the prep myself. Like, no, I don't have somebody doing that and looking through Actors Access or like the online like audition forums for me. I have to dig and kind of find everything myself.
Yes.
But yeah, I feel like it just kind of worked out in a good way for me.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Auditioning on tour?
Auditioning on tour is interesting.
Yeah. Dance calls from the gym?
Dance calls from the gym. You go and
Okay.
Yeah. So some venue or like some hotels that we're in or even some of the venues have like a dance studio rehearsal space. So like when they do have that, it's really nice because you can go and do that. But then there's sometimes like we're buying a day pass at the local YMCA gym to borrow a studio, and a bunch of us will rent it together, and everyone's like, okay, you learned it, everybody go film what you need to film within the hour that we paid to rent the studio, and then get out.
Leave again.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, like if you don't have representation or whatnot, like you go to these open calls, it's like it's hard to get seen.
Yeah.
And it's like one thing to find the audition, but then also like actually getting seen. Did you ever have an issue with that at all?
I've been to one open call successfully. It was for Wicked in New York. I managed to get seen. This was back when because I'm non-union. So we have to. I think it's changed recently, where there's no unofficial. We used to have like an unofficial list. So you'd line up outside of Pearl Studios, one of the audition studios in New York. And you'd write your name on a piece of paper that somebody taped to a wall
so early
at the crack of dawn and hope for the best, because sometimes there would be two lists, but because it's all unofficial, there's not like the moderator of the audition will like put it together. And I was lucky to get seen, but however, it was an 8-bar cut.
Yeah.
And
8 bars is nothing.
Yeah.
That's what? 15 seconds?
Yeah.
Maybe?
So I've been seen for Wicked.
Wow.
With my good old 8-bar cut. But I feel like a lot of times I stick to the non-union work, which usually you can get appointments for.
Okay.
But it's all like online submission now for like the first 2 or 3 rounds, I feel like, for most things.
Okay, that makes it kind of nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is there a reason why you chose to do non-union versus joining the union?
I could buy my card right now. Like I have the like credentials or whatever you need to join the union. But I think that does limit a lot of work that you are able to do once you're in the union.
Interesting. I thought that, again, I know nothing about this world.
It's okay.
So for me, it's like, wow, the union, like that would make it more accessible, but it sounds like it's the opposite.
So once you're in the union, you can't do non-union work.
Okay.
If your resume isn't, I don't know how to say it right, but if your resume isn't stacked to get you into consistent union auditions, you're less likely to book a job in general. So it's easier for someone who's a little younger to book something non-union.
Yeah.
Okay.
Granted, non-union is without a union, so it comes with its challenges, absolutely. But that's kind of the world there.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think you're going to stick to non-union for a bit, or?
I think so, because I know a lot of national tours, honestly, that you see are non-union.
Yeah.
Wow.
So a lot of times they'll start as union, and then after like a year or 2, they'll switch to non-union, but it will be the same exact production, just with non-union, lesser paid actors.
There it is. Yeah.
So, and it's a lot like our stage crew is still union. Like they're all part of IATSE, which is like the stagehand union. So I think having them as a part of the union does hold them accountable to some, like for us, it kind of shields us a little bit, I think, and protects us a bit, because if we're like hours wise, if we're pushing something that the union's against, usually if they're there, we're there. So if it gets like, it helps shield us a little bit, but it is, I mean, it's definitely a difference in
Yeah.
Like, but we're doing the same exact production, same set that they used for the union tour.
Okay.
Just we're all non-union.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Huh. I'm sure we can record an entire
I was about to say that's
about
a
union
huge
versus
combo.
non-union.
Yeah.
just on that, and that would be like, I know nothing about this at all. Like, we kind of learned a little bit about it in school, but that was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's different when you're learning about it versus when you're living it.
Yeah.
And also, I don't remember it. So
Fair. I feel like they make changes, or like I'll see something online about it. I'm like, I didn't even, it'll be like a change in something. And I'm like, I didn't even know that existed in the first place, but okay, cool.
Yeah, like how now the unofficial list is officially by the union no longer accepted. Because before,
so you can't do open calls anymore?
You can't do, they're trying to prohibit the thing where a bunch of people get there at 3 a.m., put their name on a list, and then go back home. Yeah. And then show up, and they're like, well, my name's first on the list. And having a list makes everything easier for the people running the audition. So usually often they'll just honor the list.
Yes.
Now it officially can no longer be honored.
Whoever is first in line.
The audition starts when it starts.
So you have to stay. So you get there at 3 and you stay. Love.
So, and there's the flip side of like, they're like, oh, well, now auditions will start when they're supposed to. And it's like, that's
absolutely
not how that's going to go.
And it's like, it's like, well, how well if you are non-union, you are lucky enough to be able to be seen. You've been up standing outside for hours.
We had talked about this, about singing without a warm-up.
Yeah.
Singing for Alphabet without a warm-up and what that even looks like.
Yay. Oh my gosh, especially in cold New York winters.
Yeah.
Because apparently I learned this. There's audition seasons.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that before.
I feel like there's always something auditioning.
Yeah.
But it's definitely like end of winter, spring.
So it's still cold.
Yeah.
And then you're waiting in the cold.
Yeah.
Oh my God. No, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm too much of a princess for this life. Oh my God. So my question was going to be for you, like, what's next? But we already know you're going on another cruise for 7 months.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I love that for you. Like, I think that's so wonderful that you have all these jobs lined up and that you're always working and, I mean, not always working, but you know what I mean? Like, that's really great. I mean, obviously you know what you're doing. You're fantastic. So it makes sense that you're booked, but still, you know, even if you're really amazing, it's still hard to like get booked because you just have to be at the right time, right place. Right person, right hair color, right? Whatever, right? Like, there's so much that is outside of our control in this kind of world. So I'm so happy for you. That's so amazing. Do you already know what you're going to do after the 7 months?
I keep saying I'm done. I think I'm done after this next one.
Yeah.
The only way I would do it, there's one route that I would do just about anything to have with this cruise company. But I do think I'm going to want to try to settle in New York and start auditioning for like regular musical theater again.
Yeah.
It's something that I do miss, like acting. I miss acting. I love acting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also think, and there's a weird stigma around cruise ship work in the musical theater industry where a lot of people think it's lesser, like it's not as good quality, you're not working as hard. I feel like a lot of people, were taught a lot of people like, you don't want to stay on cruises for too long, you don't want to do that. So I think especially with like before I took this next contract that I'm going to be doing, I almost didn't do it
because of that.
I was like, oh, I'm going to ruin my career, I'm going to miss out on all these opportunities. But I have grown so much by doing them because I'm expanding myself vocally. I'm working in crazy conditions because even on Cats was hard. We were on tour. You're traveling straight into a show sometimes. It's not easy by any means, but also your stage isn't moving.
Yeah.
Like
the stage is
your
stationary.
stage isn't rocking. You're not getting whatever sickness every passenger has just brought onto the ship. So I feel like on the ship you get sick a lot. And you get sick often, so you have to be very conscious about taking care of yourself. You're not consistently doing the shows, so you aren't able to build the stamina in your body, so it kind of feels like you're whipping it out of thin air sometimes. So I feel like it's different work, but it is still very hard work that I feel like people kind of just dust it into the corner as like a lesser performance style.
For sure.
But
would you ever consider going into film too?
I would.
Yeah.
I feel like with that that aspect of the industry, I feel like it is much easier if you have an agent. So I think once I get back, I want to try to find an agent.
Okay, cool.
See how that works, especially for TV film. But
yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. You have a lot of exciting things happening in your life. And but it seems like you're enjoying it too.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
I love that for you. Again, like it's so hard being a working actor out here.
Yeah.
And so you're doing it.
Yeah, you're doing
the
it.
thing.
That's so exciting. That's so exciting. Anything else that you want to share, that you want to get off your chest? Any tea? Any
Drama.
I think just do what makes you happy.
Yeah.
Like, screw what people say is like the right career choice or the right path for you. If it makes you happy and it's like scratching that itch artistically for you, and you're not like harming yourself or like overworking yourself crazy, like do it.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry what other people think or what someone tells you it might do or won't do for your career. If it's an opportunity that you think will be good for you, even if it's just for some good old-fashioned fun, like take it.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. Well, I have one last question for you. And if I remember, I try to ask all of our guests that. Sometimes I forget, but I remembered this time. The show is called From Singer to Artist. And my question for you is, if there is a difference between a singer and an artist, what to you is the difference?
I think a lot of it has to do with passion, in my opinion. I feel like singing, like, at, like, a basic level kind of is, like, okay, cool, you can hit the tones, you can hit, like, or you can hit pitch, you can sing the song technically, but I feel like adding artistry is, like, if it's, like, adding artistry to it, helps you become that. Like, if it's something you're passionate about, acting through song, I feel like is a big part of that. Like, I can sit here and I can sing a song and I can hit every note, but it won't be entertaining. Yeah. It won't be, like, full of anything. So I feel like
it'll just be like, oh, that was nice. Moving on.
Like,
right?
Yeah.
Not like, oh, wow, that moved me, or whatever.
Like, adding something personal to it, I think transforms you into an artist.
I love it. The personal aspect of it.
I like that.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank
Sam. You are such a beautiful person inside and out. I've only known you for like the last hour and a half.
Yeah.
But this is so fun. Thank you so much for coming on and for sharing your journey. Yeah. And that's amazing. Like, you know, if I wasn't so allergic to boats, I would come and watch you perform. But please don't take it personally. Yeah, I'm away from the shore. Exactly. Yeah. But I just can't do boats. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's not for everybody.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for
please let us know, where can we find your stuff?
I feel like Instagram is probably the best place.
Awesome.
I technically have a website, but I'm really bad at updating it. But it's Bello_Sam99, I believe.
Okay.
It's my Instagram. But
I shall link to it
so
that we can find it. Perfect. And then do you do like updates on like your cruise life? And
And then
Very cool.
I'm getting better about posting performance things because
You're killing it.
I'm getting better. I feel like in my brain I'm like, no one wants to see that, and I'm like, I don't care.
Isn't
I
that
want
a
to post
crazy
it.
thing we convince ourselves?
Yeah.
Like, why? I don't want to be the one who posts. If I don't tell people I sing, how are they going to know?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yes. Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah.
You kind of have to become a content creator too, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God. Yeah. I love it. Well, I'll link to your Instagram so that everybody can find you and follow along.
Thanks.
Thank you again for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Good luck. Enjoy your cruise. Some time with your boyfriend. I love that for you. And then after that, we'll have you come back again and be like, all right, I'm done with cruises. Just kidding. I booked another one.
Just kidding. You know that one route I said I would do it again for? Yes.
And we'll stay in touch and have you
please.
come on again in the future if you'd like.
Yes. No, I would love to.
Love it. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Go follow Sam on her journey and go check out one of her cruises. Book a cruise and watch her perform. I love that. Do it for me because I can't. Alrighty, we'll catch you in the next one. Bye, everyone.